All right, when solving inequalities, looking at one steps when there's multiplication or division. So we're going to follow the same steps as if they were equations. There's just a couple few changes when you are multiplying by a negative or dividing by a negative. So the division property of inequality, it just states that if you divide each side of an inequality by the same positive number, the direction of the inequality symbol remains unchanged. So that is as long as it's a positive number. So 6 is greater than 9, so 9 divided by 3 is greater than 6 divided by 3. Or 15 is less than 20, so 15 divided by 5 is still less than 20, and then 20 divided by 5. So you notice there's still no change there. Okay. And then now if it's a negative, so if you divide each side of an inequality by the same negative number, the direction of the inequality sign or inequality symbol is reversed. So if the left side is greater than, now it becomes lesser than. So if 16 is greater than if 16 is greater than 12, then 16 divided by negative 4 is now less than 12 divided by negative 4, because those are going to make negative numbers, and a smaller negative number is actually greater than a larger negative number. And same with if 10 is less than 18, then 10 divided by a negative number is now greater than 18 divided by a negative number. Once again, the smaller negative is actually the larger value. Okay, and then multiplication property of inequalities. So this would be the same thing. Instead of dividing up top, now we're multiplying. So if you have 12 is greater than 8, then 12 times 2 is greater than 8 times 2. So it stays the same. Likewise with a negative, just like division, now you're going to see that's going to switch. So 6 is greater than 2, but 6 times a negative 3 is now less. So that sign flips, and it's less than 2 times a negative 3. So now with negative numbers, if you multiply or divide across the inequality, that is going to, by a negative number, you are going to flip the way that sign is. So if it's a less than, it becomes a greater than. If it's a less than equal to, it becomes a greater than equal to. Okay? So now for solving for inequalities with division or multiplication, it's just like solving for equations with one step with multiplication and division. So to undo multiplication of a number and a variable, you divide both sides by the coefficient. So whatever number you're multiplying that variable by, you're going to have to divide that on both sides. So if 6x is less than 18, you divide both sides by 6. So here you go, 6 divided by 6, and you'd get x is less than 3. Okay, we divided both sides by the coefficient, or the number we're multiplying the variable by. Okay, so just like multiplication with division, to undo division of a variable by a number in an inequality, you're going to multiply both sides by the number you are dividing by. So you've got y divided by 5 is less than 18. You now are going to have to multiply both sides by the number you're dividing by, in this case 5. So you multiply by 5, that's y over 5 is less than 18. So now you multiply both sides. Once again, when you multiply this, your 5s are going to cancel out, leaving you with just y. So now we've isolated the variable, and now y is equal to, that shouldn't be an equal to, y is less than 90, or 18 times 5. Okay, now if you multiply or divide both sides by a negative, you flip the inequality sign. So if it is a less than or less than equal to, it goes to a greater than or a greater than equal to symbol. Okay, so let's do a couple of these and graph them. So we've got 4x is less than 32. So once again, we need to get rid of the 4 that we're multiplying the x by. So to get rid of multiplication, we divide. And we're going to divide by the number or the coefficient in front of the variable. So this gives us x over here. And then 32 divided by 4 is going to be 8. So x is less than 8. So this is 8. Let's make this 6. This will be 10. We have an open circle because it is less than. And now we are going to go all our values that are less than 8, which is going to be to the left of that circle. Okay. Now we have negative 6a is greater than equal to a negative 84. Okay, so now to get a by itself, we divide by the number we're multiplying the a by. In this case, that is negative 6. So you divide both sides by a negative 6. Okay, we're dividing by a negative, so you're going to flip the sign. On the left-hand side, you're going to be left with a. And a negative divided by a negative becomes a positive. And that would be a positive 14. So 6 can go into 84 14 times. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. Okay, so then we'll graph this. Okay, we are going to have a closed circle because we are including 14, so a is less than or equal to 14. And now all values that are less than or equal to 14 are going to be to the left. Once again, note our variable is on the left-hand side, and the direction the inequality here is facing tells us which way our arrow should be going. All right, we've got 2 more. So solve and graph. So t divided by 5 is greater than 12. So now to undo division, so we're dividing t by 5, we are going to multiply by 5. Okay, once again, the 5 times t divided by 5 is going to cancel out, leaving us with t. And then t is greater than 12 times 5, which will give us 60. Okay. Once again, there is no, this is just a t is greater than, there's no equal to, so it is an open circle. And all the values that are greater than 60 are going to be to the right. Note, our inequality is facing to the right, and our variable is on the left-hand side. Okay, last one, b divided by negative 32 is greater than equal to 3. So to undo division, we have to multiply both sides by the number we're dividing by. We're going to be multiplying both sides by a negative, so we're going to flip that sign around. So now b is going to be less than equal to, and that would be 3 times negative 32. Okay, the negative 32's cancel out, leaving us with b, and b is less than equal to, it's going to be a negative 96. So positive times a negative will give you a negative. Okay, so if this is negative 96, this would be negative, I'll go here, negative 98. This would be negative 94. Okay, now this is a less than equal to, so we're going to go to our negative 96, put a closed circle there. Okay, all values that are less than that are going to be to the left. Once again, look at the way the inequality is pointing, and that's the way our arrow is going to go. And we just start our point at our negative 96. So that's solving inequalities with multiplication division. The big thing to note is if you divide or multiply by a negative, that sign is going to flip.